if you really think that he's irrelevant and people don't care, you're just not paying attention.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome into the TexAgs Rewind. David Nuño here. Billy Liucci's here. Jackson Moss is here. Billy, we got way into Johnny football.
Yep. It was a two-hour interview they're doing.
And
Shannon Sharp, so we dove into it.
Hey, we didn't really get to talk basketball, but A&M going to take care of business against Tennessee?
That's an unfair question.
Yeah, it's not unfair.
I mean,
they can. How about that?
Well, they did it a couple weeks ago. Look, I thought A&M was going to get their big revenge against Arkansas Tuesday. Hey, they lost to them. Second time around, the Aggies will handle business. They're at home. Kind of the same thing Tennessee fans are thinking right now. The difference is, man, Tennessee's been consistently really good all year.
Yep.
They've been consistently great all year. A&M has not. A&M's been on a roller coaster. It feels like that roller coaster is at the bottom right now. I do think it'll start chugging back up, and it's going to make it where they're going to be right there at the finish line, and they're going to be one of the most hotly debated teams for the tournament. And by that, I mean I kind of think they're going to be a 9-9 SEC team, and right there in the bubble discussion because of the terrible losses like the one they had Tuesday. I think they got their work cut out for them tomorrow in Knoxville. Tennessee's going to be out for blood, and that's a great basketball team out for blood. And by the way, A&M's down, which is so weird to say because A&M was so up the last time these two teams played, and they've lost three since then, and two of them to get teams that I never would have thought A&M would have lost to. Arkansas is talented, but at home. Vandy's a tough place to play, but it's Vandy. They should have won those two games, and we're feeling great about them being in the tournament. And with the way LSU's playing, they've got like one bad loss on the resume.
Right.
Now they've got, Memphis too, which is starting to look like one, but they've got like two on the resume, neither of which would have been terrible in Fayetteville, Memphis. But now they got two more. And man, they've created a real climb, and I think that climb starts after tomorrow.
Jackson, your favorite part of the show?
I thought the go hour was good today. Go hour felt good at least.
Go hour, all right. That's the first time I've ever heard that. And we got you
I
ready.
like the go hour.
It's good. We got the baseball bunch here to talk about the Wagner series. That and more is the TexAgs Rewind.
Clendenin kicked everybody's ass on that baseball bunch today. Like I thought
except for the feedback with his phone.
Well, yeah, God knows that guy's probably got a phone. He's probably got a flip phone.
He's honestly got rotary.
Clendenin, fanny pack and flip phone for sure.
100%.
But he outshone Bronny and Zane, especially Zane. But I mean, I thought he actually kicked Bronny's ass today. I listened to the whole thing, and there were more points that Clendenin made where I was like, oh.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
See, Scotty, you win.
Point, Scotty C.
It's the rewind.
Point to the gobbler.
I think that A&M is going to go into a environment at Knoxville with a team that's angry. I'm talking about Tennessee, about whatever transcribe or hear, and a coach wanting some payback.
Well, you know what? Anger doesn't win.
Nope, doesn't.
Buckets win, right? So if we get the A&M team that plays situational defense, then they're probably going to lose. If we get the A&M team that for 80% of the game has intense defense, and I don't want to say gets lucky, but they hit a couple of threes to start off and feel good about themselves, then they're going to have a chance to win that game.
If they play their best, they have the best game they played all year was when they dismantled Tennessee, just took Tennessee apart. What was that, 2 weeks ago?
I'm all for whatever it takes to motivate your team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I like playing with a chip on your shoulder, anger, and reminding them, this coach freaking stepped on our foot. That I'm cool with, right? I don't care about freaking fans chanting overrated. Just like I don't care if they chant, you suck. And even if it did bug me in the moment, that's what fans do. And I don't want to get into an argument between you and I about, we should be better than that. Okay, sure, we should be. But it's fan behavior. Because stepping on the floor, what we saw at the Palace, like that's different level. Mm-hmm. I'm saying just like yesterday. Did you see Kevin Durant's little thing yesterday?
I saw something about it. I tried to watch it, and I couldn't get any sounds, or at least I couldn't hear what was going on.
First off, I have no problem with what Kevin Durant did, and a lot of people are saying he should be above that. I'm not above it. So he's walking inside American Airlines Center, the AAC, and a Mavs fan and his wife, I think it was the wife who said it, I'm not sure, yells out to him, "You're a B."
Okay.
So Kevin turns around and approaches them and has a few words for them.
That's why Schloss was so spoke so highly of those Saturday win against McNeese, because it really does speak to the maturity of the ball club and how you bounce back, good or bad, the next day. So I think when you're looking at this Wagner club, I don't know a lot about them individually. All I know is what they did last year and then what they put on the scoreboard in the first weekend against North Carolina, and that's about it. You'd obviously expect Texas A&M to have an extreme talent advantage, but that always doesn't matter in baseball.
Especially in baseball.
You got to go out and play the games. But what I would expect to see from this club is, like, what I want to see is just a continued mature approach to the game. Like, good, bad, whether we're playing Arkansas on the road, LSU on the road, or Wagner at home. Are we the same consistent ball club in terms of our preparation and our day in, day out, going about our business in the clubhouse, on the field, that kind of stuff?
I think what Hayden Schott said yesterday during the press conference is really what's going to carry them. I asked him about the good hat that you've certainly seen all these guys wearing, and Hayden wears it every day. And he says that that's the mentality of this team, is it doesn't matter if something positive happened or something negative happened. Their reaction to whatever happens is supposed to be, all right, good, moving on, next thing.
That's by your good friend.
That's my guy, Jocko Willink.
Good friend,
I
Jocko
didn't know
Willink.
that was a Jocko Willink thing.
Yeah, that's
Anyways,
the one that I butchered on the air a couple of weeks ago.
Your good friend.
My good friend, Jocko Willink.
Anyways, Coach Schlossnagel gave the team all those hats, and that's the mentality.
I gotta get that hat.
I want to see them carry that mentality into the second weekend. A lot of positive has happened, but I don't want them to get too high on it. I just want to say good and go next.
Do you know the genesis of why that's such a thing, especially in baseball? When you see adversity, right? Instead of being like, darn it, good. All right, now how am I gonna beat this situation? Scotty, any thoughts to add to that?
Well, I also think that some of the times these second weekends, the opponents now have actual real tape on you. It's not just what they have as far as in the past, and they're making adjustments. I mean, what kind of fastballs are some of these guys going to see? And I thought Brauning did a good job talking about it on the radio last weekend, was the fact that, hey, here's a guy that doesn't look like anybody you can pitch. Nobody can throw an inner squat or anything like that will be, as slow as I am, but the ability to throw strikes.
When it comes to women's basketball, South Carolina is still being South Carolina. Number one, South Carolina clinched a share of its third straight Southeastern Conference regular season championship with a 72-44 win over Alabama on Thursday night. Coach Dawn Staley's 600th career win. On the baseball side of things, the SEC still has 6 teams in the top 10 rankings. Our Aggies are currently sitting at number 8 per NCAA's website rankings. And this kind of counts as SEC news, but it's more of an Aggie shout-out because he is representing the SEC and representing it well. Jay Slaviolette is currently leading the nation in home runs. If you didn't know it after last season, I can confirm it already this season. This guy absolutely hates baseballs. But now to switch up and go over to some football news. The SEC had the second most invites to the NFL Combine with 89, right behind the Big Ten, who had 90. And it's pretty weird to not see the SEC completely dominate in terms of Combine attendance for once. But moving over to Alabama and what's going on with Kalen DeBoer, taking his new job as head coach. Alabama announced who will be taking charge of the team's offensive coordinator roles. Nick Sheridan will be the offensive coordinator and QB's coach, while Jamarcus Shepard will be the co-offensive coordinator and the wide receivers coach. While we're talking about Alabama, Kalen DeBoer picks up another huge player in the portal. Keon Sabb will be transferring from Michigan to join DeBoer and the Crimson Tide and helps strengthen the Alabama secondary. And slowly but surely, David, this Alabama team is looking more and more talented as this offseason continues. And if I'm an Alabama fan, I'm getting a little bit more confident.
Yep. So far away. I don't know. It's again, I have said this a few times. We're in a different world of like predictions, and how does anybody know how anything's going to go? Like last year, we thought the demise of Alabama was going to come, especially after the Texas loss and the quarterback play that they were getting, and they ended up in the playoffs. So I don't know Johnny. I mean, I've said hello to him, but I wouldn't say I know him. He comes across, I feel, after the documentary and after this interview, very likable, Now I just want to see extended results after the likable answers. Like, because I think he even said in that interview with Shannon Sharp was like,
It's been a couple months.
well, in December he let the fame get to him again, right?
Well, I think it was from kind of that documentary
right.
on. And I'm just, here's one thing I'll say that before we go into it, like people don't, I get this a lot from people. They know that we're friends, and I get a lot of, who cares about John anymore? He's washed up. It was 10 years ago. But it's not just, and I try to tell people, I'm like, you either just don't like the guy or you want to see him fail, or if you really think that he's irrelevant and people don't care, you're just not paying attention. And you certainly, to sit like a weekend, like say last weekend when I was in Vegas and spent a good amount of time with him and other, let's say sports celebrities, whatever. So I don't consider those but they're the peak athletes or sports media, and the interest level in him, even just going places that are hard to get into, or and seeing how he's welcomed at those spots, or walking through anywhere in Vegas, day, night, lunch, dinner, like he's a phenomenon. And it's just the truth. I know some people don't like that. Some people think it's cool. Some people don't care. But just the reality is like what pro athletes think about him, what media people think about him, what the common fan or he goes past like football, what the fans think. And I just would say if anyone ever just kind of spent an afternoon, or certainly, the nightlife and that scene, just to see kind of where he's at with that level. And it's whatever. It's some people could give a damn about this, and I get it, but we're just trying to say, like, where is he at in terms of moving the needle?
Moss, tell the people what to do.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Can you give me anything more? Like, that just was pretty cut and dry.
I mean, you told me to tell the people what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Whatever. See you next time.
Thanks, and gig 'em.